Clear and breezy, the low 73. Tomorrow sunny, the high 86. Tomorrow night, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Overcast, the low 71. Thursday, sunny and breezy, the high 90. At KOFO. And now it's time for the Pizza Time Ken Kessinger Show on KOFO 1220, 103.7 FM, and via KOFO.com. I'm Sean Torres, KOFO News.
KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show. You're invited to join us live at Pizza Time in downtown Ottawa for food and drink specials as we talk OU Braves football with head coach Kent Kessinger. If you can't join us live, we invite your questions for Coach K via Facebook or Twitter at KOFO Radio or email KOFO@KOFO.com. Now, here's your host of the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show, Bob Johnson.
And welcome into the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO. I am the most dangerous broadcaster in the KCAC, Bob Johnson, along with the most dangerous head coach in the KCAC, Kent Kessinger.
That's an interesting intro there.
Well, there's a reason behind it.
Okay.
We have, if you go to KOFO.com, which I highly recommend you do if you want to listen to this over the internet, or you want to go back and listen to the hilarity and hijinks.
Yes, definitely a lot of that.
I would suggest going to YouTube, because that's where, well, actually you go to our site and it'll take you to YouTube and that. But apparently, now, wait, let me back up. You know that you can monetize videos. You can get, like advertising or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's like, 3 pesos to the dollar or something.
Gotcha.
It's like really little. It's not very much. And apparently we are so controversial, Coach, that Google will not monetize our broadcast.
Really?
Yeah. We were demonetized. So we are apparently the most dangerous combination in sports.
Oh, I thought we were pretty kid-friendly, family-friendly, radio.
That's what I thought, too. Yeah. But apparently to the folks at Google, we're not.
Wow.
So I've achieved something. I've finally achieved something.
Well, they probably knew that coming up with this show, since today is Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Oh,
that we'd probably sound swashbuckler type, and that might have scared away some people.
Well, you do bring up a good point. So that
aye, matey,
aye, crazy pirate man. So come on down. We're here till the top of the hour. Royals baseball will be joined in progress on 1220 and 103.7 FM at the top of the hour. But pizza specials down here. People are watching baseball. America's Got Talent.
Eating pizza.
Staring at us.
Carla Face just waved.
Yes, Carla Face just waved. Paul Bean is in the audience. Hello, Paul.
There he is, Paul Bean. Vice President of Achievement.
Yes. And his achievement is coming down here for the show tonight. So congratulations to the Vice President of Achievement.
Wow, we got big people here today.
Yeah, we do. We better
big people for the show.
Boy, this better be a good show. You know what was a good show?
Last week?
Last Saturday night.
Yeah, it was.
3 overtimes.
That was quite a cliffhanger.
It had everything you could have ever wanted and more.
Just glad it didn't have an alternative ending.
No, and we won't have an alternative ending. There was not one that was shot. Although the folks in Wichita felt like that maybe there should have been, but that's neither here nor there.
Video evidence proved otherwise.
There's a lot of video evidence that proved a lot of things otherwise on Saturday night. But most importantly, though, the Braves' offense and regulation were able to get some points on the board. Unfortunately, allowed Friends to get back in it, tied up at 21, and went to 3 overtimes. But some big plays in overtime got the Braves the victory. And what's the mood of the team? A little bit relaxed?
Yeah, I think they feel pretty good to be on the winning side of the ledger. That's for sure. And I think defensively we've really played pretty good for, I'd say, all about 7 quarters. We've done 7 quarters really back to back. The fourth quarter was a little bit of an issue. The end of the third, or the beginning of the fourth quarter last week, where we gave up a couple touchdowns on big plays. That we haven't given up, in a while. And then, I will tell you that, though, the resiliency of our kids to be able to battle back through adversity. And, it's the things that we're trying to teach them, how to be able to battle through adversity. Things aren't always going to go your way. And there's a lot of life lessons that you can take from a game like that for sure.
Well, you do have a lot of young players out there.
A lot of young ones.
And that had to really help confidence-wise after the first 2 weeks didn't go your way. And one thing that really impressed me was the play, not only of just the running backs, Ethan Paul Davis, also James Reeder.
Yep.
But also going back to maybe a 2-quarterback set for a little bit, kind of switching things up.
Well, Connor got stroked up a couple times pretty good. One time I thought it should have been a penalty. He probably tried to rip his head off and came off the sideline, and his face mask was up and his chin strap was almost over his nose, and so we gave him a couple plays there to kind of get retooled a little bit, and then and James came in and did a great job. And so we came back and let James go a little bit longer, and just to kind of make sure that we were all good with some of the things on the sideline with Connor, and gave him a chance to take a breather, see things from the sideline, and I think that really helped him coming back out and then finishing the game off for us. So it was really encouraging to see both those quarterbacks do well. James really moved well in the pocket, I thought, and played pitch and catch, and then obviously Connor made some heck of a plays there at the end. That last touchdown that we throw is, we're rolling out to the right. He reverses the field, keeps the play alive, and finds Mauricio Uribe in the back of the end zone for the score.
And that's one of the abilities that I think people could see last year with Connor Byers, is that ability to keep plays alive and maybe try to get somebody open. And we saw it at a big time, and it was really amazing to see that. Just because he looked to be dead to rights when he originally rolled out to the right, and was able to circle back around and find Uribe in the end zone, and a good job of just putting enough on the pass, not overthrowing it, not underthrowing it, getting it to where it needed to be.
And that was really nice, with those two guys at quarterback, is, they did a great job, and James has done it, for the last couple of weeks as well, is that they really collaborate a lot when they come on the sideline. They talk to each other. I'll speak to both of them, and we'll kind of go through some things at halftime. They've both been able to, give suggestions of what they're seeing, or at least give me an idea, a bird's eye view of what they're seeing on the field as they're dropping back on stuff and plays that might be opening up. And it's really nice to have a senior in James with a lot of quarterbacking knowledge, a lot of football knowledge under his belt, and then to be able to have somebody that can move around athletic-wise that Connor can. They're really nice working together, and it's been good working with him this year.
Well, and also I thought the wide receivers, the tight ends, everyone getting a chance to get their hands on the ball out there and to make a play. And Connor Cox had some good catches out there. Obviously, Mauricio Uribe. But the one thing that we were really waiting to see was a long run being broke off, whether it was by EPD or by James Reeder. And Ethan Paul Davis popped through the line and was able to break it. And that was a sight to see. Once he got in the open field, nobody was catching him.
Yeah, no, it was nice to see him be able to accelerate. That's where he's a little bit, I think, stronger in the legs than James is, and that's what James is going to have, hopefully a good couple of years of developing in the weight room and make him strong like that. So he was able to break a tackle, and the nice thing about Ethan and all, basically I'd say all our backs is they can really accelerate, basically go from a start to a stop very quickly, and that's nice to be able to have. And once he hit that hole, he actually stopped in the hole, made a slide cut, and then accelerated, and he was gone.
Braves pick up the victory in 3 overtimes and 1-2 on the year. We're going to take our first break here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the defensive performance for Ottawa University last Saturday night. Also discuss some calls and some flags that were thrown and some fumbles that shouldn't have been fumbles. We'll discuss all kinds of fun stuff. And I have to put this out there, Coach. I think tonight's 4 questions, because we didn't do 4 questions with you.
Right, yeah, with the assistant guys.
Tonight's may be the best ever.
Oh, now I am waiting on pins and needles.
Tonight's may be the best. Join us here, Pizza Time, top of the hour, 8 o'clock. We'll be on the air until, but come on down, see us, have some pizza. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
When you do it right, people notice. Take Ottawa's own Pizza Time. A perfect score on Yelp. Well, listen to the reviews. Jack C. said, "This is my favorite lunch location. It's a must-stop every time I'm in town." John R. from Washington, D.C. comes to Pizza Time whenever he's in town and says, "They never skimp on the toppings and the crust is made from scratch. Service is excellent and the delivery time is super fast." Read it for yourself at Yelp or TripAdvisor or check them out on Facebook. Pizza Time does it right. Dine-in, carry-out, delivery, all-you-can-eat lunch buffet, too. 785-242-TIME.
The registered nurse practitioners at the new Ottawa Care Clinic inside Cosentino's Price Chopper are there for you to treat minor illnesses, and they can provide school or camp physicals. No appointment is necessary. The Ottawa Care Clinic inside Price Chopper. Call 785-214-4903.
A college education means more today than ever before. And that's why Ottawa University strives to equip our students with the education needed to enter the workforce prepared to make an impact. With the addition of engineering, Ottawa University now offers 22 majors at the campus in Ottawa, Kansas, with even more programs available online. Contact us today to find out more at ottawa.edu or by calling 800-755-5200.
They say, want a new wireless plan? Gotta buy a new phone. At Simple Mobile, we say, just bring your own phone. Then pop in a Simple Mobile SIM card and boom, you've got 30-day unlimited plans starting at just $25 with nationwide coverage on a lightning-fast 4G LTE network, all with no contract. You can keep it complicated, or you can mobile simple with Simple Mobile.
Available nationwide at Best Buy, Simple Mobile dealers, and authorized retailers. See the latest terms and conditions of service at simplemobile.com.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Oh, I'd be a nervous wreck if my daughter just got her license.
You know, Liberty Mutual actually helped me relax a little bit.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, with roadside assistance, Liberty Mutual is there to make sure she won't get stranded. Don't know what I'd do without it.
Sounds better than the alternative.
Which is?
Keeping her home until she's 30.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Back at Pizza Time. We sure are. Back here at Pizza Time in the corner with
in the
your
front
banner.
corner.
Yes. And way downtown Bang in the back.
You can see the busy streets of Ottawa right now.
And we can see the beautiful faces here in Pizza Time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I could make jokes at my son's expense too.
Yes,
so.
we can.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That is.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Well, we when we left this wonderful show to go to break, we were going to talk about the defense, and I was really impressed with the defense on Saturday night. Yes, they gave up some big plays. You know, let's be honest. There were some big plays given up, but that was some of the hardest hitting that I'd seen in a while from that defense. They did a good job of wrapping up. They did a good job of making the hits when they needed to get hits, and they forced some turnovers.
Yeah, and I think we did a good job of containing the offensive style because they really wanted to throw it all over the place and you know, get a ton of yards, and we really were able to, you know, keep them pretty well contained. You know, they got a couple big plays in the third, the bottom of the, you know, the end of the third, the beginning of the fourth and thereabouts. But other than that, we really kept them under control. And I think that was a really good job of scheming their game plan.
Other than being gashed for that one big run, the defense was able to hold the running back for about maybe 40 more yards on top of that.
Yeah.
And that was really impressive. The defense didn't allow themselves to get down or get out of the game.
Yeah, they did a really good job. You know, we created some turnovers as well. You know, there was a ton of hard hits. I think Marcus Fenderson, one of our outside linebackers, strong safety type guys, plays our brave position. I think he ended up having double-digit tackles and 2 tackles for loss and 2 fumble recoveries. And the fumble recovery we give him a hard time with because he had the patented scoop and score, and somehow or another ended up tripping himself up when he went after he picked up the ball, takes one step and trips himself and falls down. So
it's that turf.
It must have been. You know, it's I don't know. It's not the greatest turf out there, that's for sure.
But the turnovers were key. The Braves were able to take at least one of those turnovers and turn into points, which is important. And if you can get turnovers, turn them into points, that's a big key when it comes to winning.
Anytime you can get extra touches, that's going to hopefully give you more opportunities to be able to score points. And we did that pretty good. Still got some growth to be able to do, I think, as an offense, but I think we've been doing the little things a lot better in the last couple of weeks. I looked at some of the stats today just to kind of see where we're at, and obviously we're not where we want to be with scoring yet, but currently we're leading the conference in rushing per game, and our passing game is about on par to what we were in 2012. When we won the conference championship, with Shane Gimzo and those guys. So it's nice to I go back and I kind of compare and see where we're at. We need to continue to keep on scoring points, and I think that's coming.
It really felt like that you could see the growth with the offense. Now, I think you probably would agree, though, that there were some points that were left out on the field last Saturday. There were a few drives, 8, 9, 10 plays that didn't end up putting points on the board, but that's going to change at some point in time.
Yeah, we struggled in the special teams kicking game a little bit. We missed 4 field goals. Now, 2 of them were long, but 2 of them should have been hit, fairly well. Our kickers were kicking 55-yarders in warm-ups, easy, with room to spare, and so we took a long shot a couple times, and I think you get out there and you get under the pressure of the kick, and I'm going to probably have to start taking 10 yards off of those warm-ups. And I'm already taking 5. I need to take probably another 10 and say, okay, that's our wheelhouse to be able to hit it. But we do have some guys that can do that. And, like I said, defensively, at the first part, they were getting the ball back for us in offense and be able to score and move. And then defensively, we kept them out of the end zone really well for 3 quarters.
One thing that was apparent that at times, now, and I know that sometimes the officials have to be off limits, but there was the fumble by James Reeder where he was clearly down that they gave the ball to Friends. There was the roughing the passer call, and I do believe the quarterback still had the ball in his hand at that point in time. That hurt the Braves. There were a couple of 15-yard penalties on that drive. Yeah. And one in which where I think that was the same drive where the Braves' offensive line or a lineman gets flagged when he's trying to pull somebody off the pile.
Yeah, that was a defensive player, and that is illegal. You can't do that. That was a right call by the officials. The roughing the passer is a bang call, and that's hard to argue and say that it was the guy had the ball, he didn't have the ball. When it's bang and they don't have instant replay to be able to go back. And I think they did a really good job. The officials did early in the game where they were going to flag us for targeting, and they came together and ended up wiping off the whole play because it was just a good football hit. That was good to see the officials come together. Now, the fumble was not a fumble, and video evidence proved that, and that sort of thing. And the other ones we couldn't really see is, the seemed like the 50 tries that we had from the 1-yard line to get in the end zone. I believe we were in a couple times, but that was something that we couldn't go back. Video wasn't able to show us that. We had a really bad angle from our end zone camera, so we couldn't see that as all.
We're going to take a break here on the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show. We're going to put this game in the box, tape it up, put a bow on it, the first victory of the year, and now we get ready for Tabor on Saturday night, a game in which we will have pregame at 5, and the kickoff will be at 6 here on 1220 and 103.7 FM. And Tabor coming to town, it's picked up in rivalry-wise over the last few years. So we'll have a lot to talk about as we get ready for that. We'll also have 4 questions. All that coming up here till the top of the hour at Pizza Time. Come join us. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
When you do it right, people notice. Take Ottawa's own Pizza Time, a perfect score on Yelp. Well, listen to the reviews. Jack C. said, "This is my favorite lunch location. It's a must-stop every time I'm in town." John R. from Washington, D.C. comes to Pizza Time whenever he's in town and says, "They never skimp on the toppings and the crust is made from scratch. Service is excellent and the delivery time is super fast." Read it for yourself at Yelp or TripAdvisor or check them out on Facebook. Pizza Time does it right. Dine in, carry out, delivery. All-you-can-eat lunch buffet, too. 785-242-TIME.
The registered nurse practitioners at the new Ottawa Care Clinic inside Cosentino's Price Chopper are there for you to treat minor illnesses, and they can provide school or camp physicals. No appointment is necessary. The Ottawa Care Clinic inside Price Chopper. Call 785-214-4903.
A college education means more today than ever before. And that's why Ottawa University strives to equip our students with the education needed to enter the workforce prepared to make an impact. With the addition of engineering, Ottawa University now offers 22 majors at the campus in Ottawa, Kansas, with even more programs available online. Contact us today to find out more at ottawa.edu or by calling 800-755-5200.
You know why we love the country music community? Their passion for hometowns. Because at Country Inns and Suites, at home is how we want every guest to feel. That's why we offer complimentary comforts, such as hot breakfast every morning, a Wi-Fi connection, and coffee around the clock. Plus, our spacious rooms are the perfect place to relax and unwind. Our home is always open to you and your family. Book your next stay at countryinns.com.
Katie, where's your Jergens? My lotion? Here in the shower. In the shower? I use Wet Skin Moisturizer from Jergens. It's a lotion that works with water to instantly lock in moisture from my shower. My skin stays soft and luminous all day without a heavy, sticky feel. It's all-day moisture made simple.
Well, I did always teach you to enjoy the simple things in life. Can I borrow your Jergens Wet Skin Moisturizer?
Of course, Mom.
Jergens, let your beautiful shine.
Hey, we're back here at Pizza Time. Hi, person walking by. We're here in the front windows. It's like a circus freak show here.
I know.
We're right in front of the glass, so come on by, make faces at us. Just don't throw peanuts or anything at us or anything.
No, I don't have peanut allergy, so I'm okay with that.
I don't either. I just don't like peanuts.
Oh, I do. I like peanuts and peanut butter wrapped in chocolate.
Oh. Officer Rhesus is going to be coming to your house, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Officer Rhesus. Yep. That's right. Well, okay, I'm going to let you choose here.
All right.
Because this is your show. We can do 4 questions right now, or we can save it to the final segment.
Let's go with the final segment as a wrap-up, because, I'm still, waited anxiously for this, and I think that maybe that tension will carry over to our listeners, follow through. I mean, you don't want to give away the ending too soon, because then they'll be like Chiefs fans and all leave early.
Yeah, we saw how that went.
Yeah,
I in and out of consciousness Sunday afternoon after getting back at around 2 Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And waking up going, you got to be kidding me. I just saw this not that long ago.
Right.
And but it turned out well too, so that was important.
It did.
That was important. So you have Tabor coming to town, and Tabor drew the short straw, got Morningside to start off the season, and it was kind of a track show with Morningside with Tabor, but then last week Tabor and Bethel, their game it was moved to Sunday because of weather,
right?
And then it didn't matter because the Lord didn't help out Bethel at all.
No, the Mennonite Bowl, it was definitely one-sided with the Blue Jays. They took them back behind the woodshed and laid a whooping on them. That's for sure. And they're a good football team, really good football team.
When you got double nickels on the scoreboard on one side and a big 0 on the other, there's problems. And Tabor, who has been one of the top teams over the last few years in the conference, they've picked up. It's really picked up the rivalry between Ottawa and Tabor, especially since Gardner came back. And it's kind of gone back and forth over the last few years between the two squads.
Yeah, it's always been a good battle, especially since Coach Gardner came back, and I remember going down there and and 2012, 13, and 14, and just being rough and tumble. Matter of fact, in 2014, that's the last game of the season, and we need it in order to win the conference championship. And it goes back and forth, and it's a cold day, and we hung on and figured out how to win that game and won the conference championship. And last year they were pretty physical bunch against us, and it was back and forth, but they ended up getting the upper hand on some big plays and stuff. And I think this year it's going to be another physical battle. They're defensively they've been two decidedly different teams from the first week to their second week. The first week they're from a defensive standpoint they were basically in a 4-man front. They played really deep, which didn't seem to help them with Morningside because they were throwing bombs. I mean, long shots downfield, and I think Morningside ended up having 800 yards of offense. And then they come back the next week and they're playing Bethel, and they're going to a little bit more of a 5 defensive lineman look, and really turning those guys on to get after the quarterback in the run game, and they only give up 61 yards. So defensively, they were like Jekyll and Hyde from one week to the next, and offensively they've been solid. They faced a really good defense in Morningside, and then they were able to do a lot more of the stuff that they wanted to do against Bethel. So it's going to be interesting. I know that they're going to play physical, they're going to play hard, and that's something that we're going to have to rise to that level.
Well, in some ways, I think the first 2 weeks for the Braves season, especially offensively, still trying to kind of feel some things out. And it seems like last week you were able to put together a game plan for the offense that worked out well. Do we expect to see some of the same against a team like Tabor, especially if they show that 5-man front?
Well, I think that it's going to be one of those things that if they're going to load the box, we're going to have to be able to hit the perimeter. And generally for us at Ottawa over the years, that means throwing the football. So looking at matchups and being able to play some pitch and catch and that sort of thing, and hopefully spread them out. And that's what we've been able to do with most teams. Being a spread style of offense, being able to spread them out and find those little running lanes for the running backs to run into, and then if they pack the box, be able to throw it a little bit and be balanced. And so we're going to have to go into this week being balanced, both in the run game and the pass game, and take what a defense gives us and hopefully turn those into touchdowns.
One of the things that I heard you mention was Morningside being able to go deep against Tabor. Is that something that you feel like the Braves could take advantage of?
Well, it just depends. I mean, I go back and I look at the Bethel game, and Bethel didn't have but 2 seconds to get the ball off, so you're not going to be able to throw it deep if you only have 2 seconds. And Morningside had, at times they threw a 59-yard pass, and I swear he had 8 seconds to throw the football. I mean, he pumped it like 14 times and moved around in the pocket, and he really had no pressure, and then winged it downfield. And if we get time like that, yeah, we should be able to throw it really far. But I anticipate them putting a little bit more pressure on us, and us being able to have to hit our short stuff and hit our intermediate stuff. And that's the thing that we still need to improve on, is our intermediate.
When they bring up a line, especially when they go five across the line, and that is, and if they're bringing the pressure, you talk about if you don't have time to do that, then is this more of a scheme of slinging it out, using your backs in the passing game, going for bubble screens, things like that?
In some cases, you can do that. You can free release the backs, and we do that quite a bit within our offense. Anyways, it's not a secret to anybody. But it just depends on how they're gonna stack it up. And they actually are bringing those 7 guys, five defensive linemen, usually 2 linebackers, to stop the run. They always want to have 1 or 2 more guys than you've got to be able to block with. So from our standpoint, we've got to be able to run good zone stuff, because they'll be so close to the line of scrimmage that basically you're going to be at one level, And teams that do that, if you can get a seam, hopefully we get some long runs like we did this last weekend. And that's the key. Most of the time they're going to be able to stop you, but if you can get that one seam, you're going to be able to take it for some big plays.
Would we see maybe more of a two tight end set and some extra blocking up there to help give a little extra time?
Well, we've been working on the last couple of weeks just some multiple personnel groups. We've got 2 tight end sets. We got 2 tight ends with 2 backs. We have 4 wide receiver sets. We have 3 wide receivers and 2 tailback sets. And we've been I think gone through them all. I don't want to be one of those offensive coaches that you can tell everything they're going to do, and so we look at our self scouts. We try to work against some of those tendencies that we have, and we've been fortunate to be able to run the ball pretty successfully. So we're going to have to get the play action pass working for us.
That is one thing that I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of this year.
Well, we've done some, and we mainly do it in what we call run pass options, RPO type stuff. So a lot of the stuff comes off that, where we give our quarterback a 2-way read, and he's got to read for the run, he's got to read for a pass option, and that's been pretty successful for us. And Friends tried to take that away, which then actually opened up our running game. So it's one of those things you take what they give you, and hopefully you have enough balance in your offense to be able to do it. And that's fortunately something that I think that we've had is a good enough scheme that we're not just one-dimensional.
We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to discuss the defensive side of the ball against Tabor as we get you ready for football this Saturday. We do want to remind you the Royals will be taking the air as soon as this show is over at 8 o'clock. That's when we go off the air, so come on down and join us here at Pizza Time. And also remind you, Friday night we'll have Ottawa High football on the air, 6:40 for the Rob Hedrick pregame show. Gary Bateman will have the call at 7. And you're listening to the 5 Arrowhead stickers on a mini helmet awarded Pizza Time Kent Kessinger show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
When you do it right, people notice. Take Ottawa's own Pizza Time, a perfect score on Yelp. Well, listen to the reviews. Jack C. said, "This is my favorite lunch location. It's a must-stop every time I'm in town." John R. from Washington, D.C. comes to Pizza Time whenever he's in town and says, "They never skimp on the toppings and the crust is made from scratch. Service is excellent and the delivery time is super fast." Read it for yourself at Yelp or TripAdvisor or check them out on Facebook. Pizza Time does it right. Dine in, carry out, delivery. All-you-can-eat lunch buffet, too. 785-242-TIME.
A college education means more today than ever before. And that's why Ottawa University strives to equip our students with the education needed to enter the workforce prepared to make an impact. With the addition of engineering, Ottawa University now offers 22 majors at the campus in Ottawa, Kansas, with even more programs available online. Contact us today to find out more at ottawa.edu or by calling 800-755-5200.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Oh, I'd be a nervous wreck if my daughter just got her license.
Liberty Mutual actually helped me relax a little bit.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, with roadside assistance, Liberty Mutual is there to make sure she won't get stranded. Don't know what I'd do without it.
Sounds better than the alternative.
Which is?
Keeping her home until she's 30.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
You know why we love the country music community? Their passion for hometowns. Because at Country Inns and Suites, at home is how we want every guest to feel. That's why we offer complimentary comforts, such as hot breakfast every morning, a Wi-Fi connection, and coffee around the clock. Plus, our spacious rooms are the perfect place to relax and unwind. Our home is always open to you and your family. Book your next stay at countryinns.com.
We are back here at Pizza Time. Where else would we be on a Tuesday night?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Most of the time here during the season.
Yeah, and
as opposed to last week, though.
Well, last week was
we had things. We had things to do.
Yeah, it was a special occasion.
It was special.
And I want to say thanks again to Coach Pearson and Coach White for coming in. And
they did a tremendous job.
They did a great job. And
they're a lot funnier than one would think. just in the office. They're pretty hilarious on the radio.
They are. They were really good, and it made it a lot of fun. Of course, that's the reason why I enjoy doing the football coaches show.
There you go.
So, tell me about this defense and how they're going to go against the Tabor offense, because one of the Tabor offense, depending upon what they decide to do, they can throw it, they can run it, but they like to run it a lot and with multiple backs and multiple looks.
Yeah, they last year we prepared quite a bit for their kind of quote unquote triple option. I mean, they do a lot of zone option type stuff, and they had 2 quarterbacks that played significantly, and they're using 2 quarterbacks a little bit there, but they have a true starter, and they threw the ball way more effectively than we thought a year ago. This year we're preparing for both, obviously, because they like to pitch it around a little bit. They're still very run dominant with what they're doing. That's basically a Coach Gardner MO, as of late. And so we're going to have to be physical because they're usually pretty well downhill with their run game. Their offensive line is usually physical, getting off the ball, and so defensively we're gonna have to be able to stop the run, and gonna have to be able to then not get so caught up in stopping the run that we give up the big play in the play action pass.
And that's what one of the big plays was a big run, but the others were coming from the passing game. And is this just more of making sure the defense is in the right gaps, in the right positions, and making sure that everyone's clear on the call?
Yeah, and that was, that first week of the season, that was an issue, is overrunning things or not hitting the right run fits and to make tackles. And the last 2 weeks, I think we've been pretty good with this. And, he gave up one long pass play where the DB got turned around a little bit. He's in position, but, when he goes to make the play, he just can't finish it off. And the receiver stumbles but gathers himself and then was able to take it in. That was a 53-yarder. And then, but then the next one was a longer drive. They had a couple clips where they got some big plays, or bigger plays, not so much 50-yarders and that sort of thing. But I think our defense has done a really pretty good job of shoring those things out. We've got a really good scheme. This week is a lot of practice against the option type stuff that they want to run. They do a little zone read option. They do a little triple option. They like to run a little bit of power. And so it's going to be, like you said, just really making sure that we're the assignment strong and hitting our run gaps to be able to stop that.
And the weather, it's going to be a little bit warmer.
That's what I hear.
And maybe a little more humid. So obviously they're going to need to make sure that they take care of themselves during the week,
Yep.
hydrate, as they're going to have a tough task on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a warm one today for practice, and we were down in the swamp practicing, so that always adds a little bit more humidity down there. And then we'll be back there tomorrow again, and so it'll be a little warmer week. So hopefully we get used to that again. We've had some really mild days for practice over the last several weeks, so get used to that. Fortunately for us, we play this weekend at 6 o'clock. Which I think is a bonus for everybody, and I wish the KCAC would go to more 6 o'clock games so I don't have to get back at 2 in the morning after triple overtime, or get back at a decent time.
That would be great.
We are very kind when it comes to that at Ottawa University by having people be able to get back home. But hopefully other people will see that, the wisdom in that, and do it as well. But we'll make sure that we're just past the heat and have a good showing here at 6 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, that's why you'll have my vote for Champions of Character.
Thank you. We're just thinking of others.
And that's what we do that here on the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger show by inviting you to come down.
Yeah.
And hang out and have pizza.
Last week my alarm went off on my watch at my bedtime because I usually set an alarm to remind me to go quit watching film or whatever it is, and you need to go to bed, and we were still playing. So
yeah,
I'm still trying to catch up from that.
You know what? I am too. I took some melatonin last night, and Yeah, that was wow. That
was it wonderful,
dude. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, when you wake up and you don't know where you're at, and you're trying to catch your balance, you may have taken a little too much. Maybe I should have only taken a half a pill.
Maybe.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. Well, we're going to take our final break of the evening here. When we come back,
4 questions.
4 questions. The first time we're going to play 4 questions with Coach K this year, and we're going to come right out of the gate swinging with this one. So stick around. We're here till the top of the hour. Royals baseball will take over at 8 o'clock. But right now we'll take a break. Our final one of the night. You're listening to the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Coaches Show on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
This memorial moment is brought to you by the Lamb Roberts Funeral Home of Ottawa, Baldwin City, and Overbrook, providing compassionate care when you need it most. Here's Lamb Roberts Funeral Director Eric Price.
I have a firm belief that we are not just here to care for your deceased loved one, but more importantly to care for you and the survivors left behind. But often left out or not discussed by funeral homes is funeral financing or payment options. We know that this is an area of service our profession has ignored, and that's why at Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, we provide our families with customized payment plans. When you lose a loved one, your focus should be on your grief and your family, not if you have enough in savings to pay for a funeral. We want you to know that our first level of caring for you is to be there to work with you, regardless of your financial situation. And if payments need to be made over time, together, we'll work on a plan that fits your needs.
Lamb Roberts Funeral Home. Call in your time of need. 785-242-3550. Everyone wants an Advantage, right? So when it comes to your electric needs, how do you get one? You hire Advantage Electric. Why? You get the advantage of credible and professional crews who can get the job done, whether it's large and industrial or small and residential. You get the advantage of their years of experience and working right here in your own community. And you get the advantage of knowing that Advantage Electric will be there for you should you have problems, questions, or even a new custom lighting idea. Get the advantage. Advantage Electric, 229 North Main. Call 418-1218.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, thought you were going to be stuck at the repair shop with your car for a few hours.
I did too, but Liberty Mutual saved me from that nightmare.
Liberty did what?
Yep, with Liberty, I can get a repair estimate right on my phone. I just took a few photos of the dent and hit send. Now I just have to worry about getting the kids to soccer on time.
Wait, kids? Soccer? I gotta go!
Oh, bye.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Availability varies by state. Other restrictions apply. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
And we are back. It is our final segment of the evening here on Pizza Time, the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Coaches Show. And it is time for 4 questions.
4 questions.
We haven't done this in a while.
No.
So
I mean, probably mid-season last year, wasn't it?
Probably.
And then we went to the game shows and
yeah,
we mixed it up. That's good.
So I'm trying to mix it up, but
don't want anybody to get a key on us.
No.
Westline might be around here searching around.
Very, very true. There is a bonus question here too.
A bonus,
if you choose.
Okay.
So, question number 1.
All right.
Does the reflex really leave you answered with a question mark?
Say that one more time.
Does the reflex really leave you answered with a question mark?
No, the reflex. That's a good one. I like that. I'm going to say the reflex does answer you with a question mark.
According to Duran, you are correct. Yes.
That's a segue into my say howdy to my wife, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hi, Amy. How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Big fan of Duran back in the day. She was.
I'm still a fan. So, and I hear good job on changing the air filters. So
yeah, she got the oil changed in the car and changed the oil filters probably by herself. YouTube's an amazing thing. She seems to think.
Hey, congratulations. Well, YouTube is an amazing thing when you get demonetized.
Yeah, demonetized.
Yes, because we are the most dangerous people in the KCAC.
That's right.
The most dangerous coaches show. All right, question number 2. We've seen some calls. We had the 5th down call.
5th down, yep.
We had the fumble that wasn't a fumble.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember to week 1. There was probably some stuff there. So far, is it safe to say that the officials that have officiated OU Braves games have canceled their checks to prevent blindness?
Particularly one, maybe this last weekend, yes.
Okay, fair enough. That's
and then 2 weekends ago, I think that they all were.
they all took and made sure their checks were canceled.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 3. Tabor comes to town this Saturday. Remember, pregame show 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock kick. It's the only hour-long pregame show in the KCAC.
Only one.
Yep, I'll pimp myself. Anyway, will my hater friend from Tabor report me to the head of the KCAC officials or refer to me as a prima donna after this week?
Most definitely, yes and yes.
Yes and yes. I hope
that's a definitive answer on yes.
I will be sure to say hello to my hater friend during Saturday's broadcast.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I mean, I know they used to have message boards and all that other stuff, and I don't know if they still do. But yeah, there was a Tabor Blue Jay 7477 or something like that was not a big fan of yours, Bob.
No, not at all. And the fact that he referred to myself and Gary Bateman as prima donnas,
especially Gary.
I mean, come on, Gary.
Come on.
You obviously don't know Gary Bateman.
Obviously, not at all.
All right, so the final 2 questions. Are you familiar with Karnak?
Karnak, yes, the great. Yes, Johnny Carson.
Yes, Karnak the great. Okay, so this is my ode to Karnak.
You have a piece of paper? I mean, we're on radio, but can we...
Well, hang on. Wait.
We'll use them. Yeah, we got it. There you go.
Okay,
you got to hold it up to your forehead.
All right. The answer is modest, clean, and bright.
What is Arm & Hammer baking soda?
As I open the envelope, the answer is name 3 things that don't describe Kansas Wesleyan.
I got to do the deep Ed McMahon laugh.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
That was good. I like that one. That is true.
Now the bonus is an ode to Karnak also. So the answer as I hold the
envelope to your head.
The envelope to my head.
Yep. If you were here, you'd be able to see that.
Yes. Until he gets caught.
Until he gets caught. The Life and Times of O.J. Simpson.
Good. That's a good guess. Let's open the envelope. The answer, how long does a United States congressman serve?
Yes. Oh, that's good. So that's good until he gets caught. Got it.
That is 4 questions plus the bonus.
That's good. So 5. But I mean, 4 plus 1.
4 plus 1. It's kind of like the college football playoff now.
It is. You got the bonus round, and then you got I like it.
I think we've now spun this into the 4 plus 1.
4 plus 1.
Yeah.
So you always got to have a bonus question just in case. Extra credit if you need it to pass.
Exactly. Isn't that right, Larson? Extra credit if you need it to pass.
I'm sure Larson has been doing his homework while we've been here on the radio show, and he's all done with it. As is my son, I'm sure, at home.
Wink, wink,
slaving away feverishly on his homework.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, old boy. That's right. Yeah. I'm sure the answer is no to that, too. So we got big game on Saturday. If the Braves could go 2-0 early on in conference, that would be a big statement, especially coming off of last season. You had Friends, you have Tabor, and then you have Bethany next week. So these first 3 conference games are a little bit of a gauntlet for you guys.
Yeah, obviously Friends played a couple of tough games before we got to them and gave us one heck of a game, which we were, fortunate to make the plays when we need to make them to finish it out. And then you got Tabor, who's ranked in the nation. After that, you have Bethany, who's 2-0 right now and putting up a lot of points. The KCAC obviously doesn't get any easier. That's for sure as we go along through the weeks. But we really got to, obviously our kids are focused on this week with Tabor, and we've kind of been following the mantra of taking one game at a time, being 1-0 at the end of each week, and we were able to put that together this last week. I think it was an good emotional win for our guys. We had we had a couple guys that that have had some just crazy things happen family-wise, and we had an offensive lineman that had to go home for a funeral and was back for the game. Had another person that found out that his best friend passed away, the night before the game, and then I had our third guy had another family member that passed away suddenly on Saturday. So it was one of those things that all the outside things that kind of added to it. It was great for our guys to get that win and to be together. And now we need to just parlay that into a nice string of things and be able to take on a very, very good Tabor Blue Jay team.
Is there any concern of an emotional letdown?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard nowadays. Kids, they're so even keeled with things. It's sometimes it's hard to get our eyes out of them, and sometimes you just don't know. And I used to be a guy that we go through warm ups, and I could tell how we were going to do based on how well we were warming up prior to the game, and now I don't have that read. So I think that they're pretty resilient kids. They bounce back pretty well, and I think that they'll get focused. It's a lot on Tuesday to get a gauge on that because of the fact that we're doing so much new stuff, facing a new defense, facing a new offense, that we'll know a little bit more when it comes Thursday.
Coach, we'll talk to you on Saturday for the pregame show, as we normally do. Again, the pregame show at 5 for the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. The kickoff at 6 here on 1220 and 103.7 FM.
Youth Day this week.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
Youth Day. Talk a little bit about that. We got about 90
right,
seconds.
Make a plug for the Youth Day. Youth Day this weekend, so if you're listening and you got children anywhere between basically second and 5th or 6th grade, at 5:30 at Peoples Bank Field on Friday, our guys will be doing just a little drill stations, clinics on football. Kids can come out, meet the players, get some autographs and that sort of thing. So that'd be 5:30 this Friday, and then they'll get tickets to be able to come to the game on Saturday.
Not a bad deal. Come on out, meet your Ottawa University Braves, and get yourself some tickets to the game, and get all the fan support you can. Get everybody out there, make some noise, and let the Braves come home with a victory as they take on a tough Tabor squad. Coach, thank you for joining us once again. I mean, it is your show, so you kind of have to be here.
Generally. Yep.
Generally. So thank you for letting me host it.
You're welcome. My pleasure, actually.
I'll be writing you a thank you note at the end of the season.
Thank you.
So, again, a reminder, Friday night, Ottawa High will be on the air, 6:40, the Rob Hedrick pregame show. 7 o'clock, the kick. Gary Bateman will have the play-by-play for you here on 1220 and 103.7 FM. On Saturday, Ottawa University Braves football. It's at 5 o'clock for the Wise Guys Construction pregame show, 6 o'clock kick. Again, you'll hear it here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO. KOFO.com also for both games, Friday night and Saturday night. Also OttawaBraves.com for the OU game on Saturday. We're going to be joining Royals baseball here in just a matter of seconds as the Royals are taking on the Toronto Blue Jays as the season's beginning to wind down. So, again, we want to say thank you to Pizza Time for hosting us here. The help, fantastic as always. The food, always great. And we implore you, we ask you, come on down next week, next Tuesday night, as we have the next edition of the Pizza Time Kent Kessinger Show here on 1220 and 103.7 FM KOFO.
One got up.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for, a sinker up, and he left it up, and Pilar didn't try and pull it. That's always a big mistake against a sinker ball pitcher. When you go with the pitch to the opposite field, you have a greater chance of having success, and it was up about thigh high, and Pilar was all over, driving it powerfully to right center.
Here comes Dave Island for a mound visit. In New York tonight, the Yankees and the Twins had a rain delay, so they're only in the top of the third inning, but they've got a 1-1 game. And now the Twins have just gone ahead 2-1 on a Max Kepler home run, his 18th on the year. So the Twins lead 2-1. Remember, the Twins began the night as the second wild card team. The Royals 4.5 back. Both the Angels and Seattle are between Minnesota and the Royals in that wild card race.
And there's a pinch runner at third for Kendrys Morales. It is Refsnyder. He was called up in the September call-ups, an infielder, Rob Refsnyder.
Former Yankee. So if a ball gets away from Salvi, a lot easier to score than asking Kendrys to do that. And there's a liner to the gap in left center. Kendrys could have strolled home. He's going to go to the fence. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Russell Martin doubles to the gap in left center. And Toronto's lead is 4-1.
Yeah, Alexander has been up with just about everything in this inning. And that was a sinking fastball that never did. It was above the belt, exactly where Alexander does not want to be. And that ball was cracked well into the left center field gap for a 2 RBI double.
So the biggest lead of the night for the home club. And that brings up Ryan Goins, who has grounded out, singled and scored 1 out of 2. Toronto began the night 70 and 80. And there's a called strike. 4-7-0 Toronto. 1-4-1 for the Royals to this point. Royals' longest road trip of the year, 11 games in 12 days. There's a swing and a miss. Fastball from Kennedy.
And I wouldn't be at all surprised if they brought Marcus Stroman back for that 8th inning. He has thrown as many as 119 pitches in a ball game this year, and not yet to 100. I think he was right around 95.
Alexander got a double play ball to get out of the 6th inning. But this inning, after he struck out the leadoff man Bautista, it's been single, double, then 2-run double. And now it's a 1-2 count on Ryan Goins, the batter. Martin at second, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. Back-to-back innings of 2 runs for Toronto, and there's a breaking ball that misses high.